welcome back to
Good Soul Bites.
I'm your host, Ami43.
And I'm your co-host, Chigi.
Hi, husband.
Hi, wife.
Another week down of being married.
Mm-hmm.
How's it been?
It's been better.
Better?
Yeah. Remember, we've been recovering from our sickness.
Yeah, but
And we've been slowly getting back to trying to fill up the department with our stuff.
Yeah.
So, it's getting there.
Piece by piece.
It's getting better.
Yeah, piece by piece. I've had a lot of people asking me, oh, how's married life? And I'm just like, it's really fun. Because I come home and you're home. And then I go to sleep and you're there. And then I wake up and you're there. And you're just there all the time. It's great. So it's been fun. I like being with you all the time. It's great.
Yeah.
As cheesy as it sounds, kind of like, yay, we made it. But yes, the apartment piece by piece is kind of, I feel like we're not only are we settling into it like with our stuff, but I feel like we're also kind of finding and figuring out our groove too in a lot of ways. It's only been a few weeks, and it's not like we didn't have a routine before, but it's been more than anything. I feel like just trying to get back to a routine post wedding has been weird, because like there was a lot of weeks there where you're just surviving and you're just, which is not bad. It was just we were so busy with wedding stuff, and then now that it's done, it's like, oh, okay, like we can be like normal again. I will say one of the hardest things, and my mom has always told me this from like the beginning, hardest thing or one of the hardest decisions you have to make is what you're going to cook. Because you have to cook every day.
Every day.
Make that decision of what you're going to eat every day. But it's not, I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's just kind of like, that's probably been my biggest like struggle. It's like, we had a while there where I wasn't cooking, and then trying to get back into the groove of cooking, kind of like, it feels weird. Like I feel like I feel like I'm like using a third arm that just doesn't, I don't know how to, whatever. So I started pretty simple, or I'm starting simple. Tonight we had harissa chicken, which is like a classic that we used to eat all the time. And yeah, so it's like baby steps.
Yeah.
But yeah, so another week down of being married, and another week to recount what happened at our wedding.
Yep.
Because, oh my gosh, we haven't even gotten to the reception yet, and it has been a story. But like a fun story. It's all fun. It's just also like, it was a big day.
It was.
We had a lot going on. A lot of moving parts for two people. But again, it was my favorite day. Crazy, but my favorite day so far.
So now we get to recount the best part, because
the best part wasn't marrying me. Thanks.
Hey, I'm not saying that, but the best part was the food.
It was. I feel like this was the part where we could kind of once the photos were done, because we took a long time taking photos. Obviously, like that's like a wedding thing. You have to take photos. We're wearing really, really cool clothes. Got to take photos of it. And once we got through that, and we could eat, like sit and eat, and like sit and eat. That was nice, because it was like okay, like the hard stuff was over. Now we can just, and we could celebrate and enjoy in the best of ways. So reception, we did, like I said, we spent a little under 2 hours taking photos at the chapel. And then we took some photos outside the chapel, and then we took photos at the reception. But going to the reception was kind of fun, because we got to hang out with our entourage, and we took our little not limo bus with our very aggressive driver. Yeah. Okay, here's my thing though. As much as like we're joking about our driver, he was not a bad driver. Like I want to make that very clear. We made it very safely. Everything was fine. There was just a lot of this motion happening. A lot of start and go, revving the engine type of thing. Because again, I was sitting in the back, and the engine was right underneath my butt, and I could feel. I was like, "Ooh, maybe as the two heaviest, we shouldn't have sat in the back." I don't know.
No, that's where we're supposed to sit.
He was he was definitely pushing the limits of that limo, but we did get it to our destinations very efficiently. We actually got to the reception venue a little bit earlier than scheduled, not in a bad way, but we were anticipating, like our backup plan was kind of just like, if it's too cold, we'll take pictures inside. And then if it was nice enough, we would take pictures outside. It was very cold, so we opted to not take pictures outside. And our venue coordinator very kindly reminded us that, you guys can come early. Yeah. It was just, they just didn't want all of the guests to be there super, super early.
Right.
Yeah, and that was totally fine. So us and Entourage made it to the venue. And as soon as we got in, I got to do the one thing that I scheduled for the day, which was use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And that was really, really nice because I felt like I didn't have to worry too much. Like I was in a space, in a place that I wasn't, we had you had a groom suite and I had a bridal suite, and it was like these entire like suites rooms, so I was like, I was able to relax, and then we were able to dump all of our stuff, which was really nice, and kind of just, reset. So I used the bathroom, and we separated for like a bit. What did you do while I was using the bathroom?
Literally, we got in, we dumped all our stuff on the table.
In the group suite, yeah.
It was like, oh, do you need any medication? Do you need, ibuprofen? I was like, sure. So he had his drugs ready.
Nice.
And he had his thermos with his water, so I was able to take the ibuprofen so that, whatever pain I had in my feet or whatever would kind of reduce.
Right. We were standing for a long time.
And then the guys were just hanging out. We would take turns using the bathroom because there were 2 stalls and one didn't close.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You could use it to pee, and then that was about it.
Okay.
So I had to take a dump. Someone else had to take a dump. So.
Oh, you took a full dump?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Yeah, I had to. That was like my first one of the whole day.
The difference between guys and girls. I don't think I took a dump the whole day.
Good for you.
I was too scared. I don't know. I know I was like the thing they say is try to take a dump like in the morning. So like before then like that you're set for the day. I don't think I did at all.
Okay.
Like I couldn't.
Yeah. So we did that, and then once we all got freshened up and all that sorted out, we went back out into the what was it? Where we had the food.
Oh, like the VIP room.
Yeah, our little VIP room.
Essentially, the venue set aside a room for us where we could have our own cocktail hour with our entourage, which was really, really nice, actually. Not just because we could have cocktail hour with our entourage, but it was just us having a designated space. Again, we were able to relax without, fully interacting with all of our guests. I will say when we first kind of got there, because some guests were coming in, like we had friends and family who were helping to kind of do like the last minute things, and by last minute I mean they had friends and family taking care of like the dessert table, so they had to be there early to because the food had to be delivered fresh, and our cake person and our pancit and our sinigang fried chicken, like all kind of the food not last minute, but all the food things that needed to be delivered like right before. That was all kind of happening during this time.
Yep.
So, some of our friends and family, and then again, our venue coordinator was very kind, and she allowed us to also, like, she let my parents and my immediate family come in, and they, even though it was early. So all that was happening, and we were in our VIP room, and was this before or after photos? This is before, right? This is before photos?
I don't know. We had a lot of photos.
I'm talking about the photos at the venue.
Like I said, we had a lot of photos.
Where it was just me, you, and the photographer, and Sharon.
This was before.
That was before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We ate first, right? And then we went and took photos? Yeah. So, we were in this room, and again, shout out to our venue. Our cocktail hour food was fire.
Yep.
We had meatballs and marinara, chicken teriyaki, charcuterie
Skewers,
boards,
charcuterie,
fruits, and tea. And
tea, yeah.
Yeah. And I know the girls, we were all parched. Like, immediately, all of us got, like, a cup of iced tea and just kind of, like, downed it. And, yeah, we were just kind of, it was nice. We had our own little room. We were relaxing and eating and snacking and all this stuff. The food was one of those things that, and I get it because we're all like still in like formal clothes and you're still like mentally unwinding.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of like so we all got drinks because we were so thirsty. We all got drinks, and then we're like, okay, yeah, go eat, and like no one was getting food, and then finally like one girl started handing out plates, and then we all got like one skewer of chicken, and then like we all sat down or whatever, like one meatball or whatever. But then as soon as we all started eating, we all kept going back because the food was really good.
Yeah.
It was like I was just pulling straight off the charcuterie board. I was like, I didn't even have a plate. I was just pulling. I was like,
yeah,
it's fine. We were just munching and snacking and things.
So I think my favorite part about the cocktail hour was taking parts of the charcuterie. So get the really crispy crackers, dipping it inside the marinara, and then taking one of the cheeses from the charcuterie and making a little mini pizza. Yeah, that was the best part.
I don't know what it was. I mean, it wasn't groundbreaking food. I mean, literally, it was meatballs and marinara sauce. They were on little no, it was just in sauce, and you could toothpick in. Yeah. And then the chicken teriyaki, which were on like these little baby skewers. And like we were talking about this with our friend last night. The teriyaki wasn't like a traditional sweet and salty teriyaki. There was like a little twang to it, but it was really good. Like it was fire because literally we all kept like going back for more. I'm grateful because I'm pretty sure she replenished our chicken teriyaki. She replenished one of them, because we were eating it like we were eating so heartily. And yeah, we took a couple pictures with our entourage inside the VIP room, and it was just like very casual photos, like the girls toasting and us sitting on our venue had these like very beautiful decorations, so just us kind of like sitting in this nice room. Our photographer was taking photos, and then after that the girls and I went back to the bridal suite, and we were organizing because like I had gifts for our sponsors, and we were kind of organizing like those last minute things, getting the labubus in place, and then we gave one of our friends the tablets. So we bought these like drawing tablets for the kids because obviously we had said this before, our venue was not very keen on having children, right. But our wedding was going to be children friendly regardless because all our friends have kids, and we obviously love our friends and their kids, so I'm a big fan of kids. So obviously as we said before, our venue was not keen on having too many kids, but we were always going to have a kid friendly wedding, and so we bought these tablets that weren't, I don't know how they work. I guess they're like old school like Etch-a-Sketches, but they have little pencils and little and it's just a little drawing pad and the kids could draw on it. We got a set of those. So I gave that to one of our friends' kids, like teenager kids, and I was like, hey, pass this out to the kids. And he was like, who? And I was like, anyone who looks like a kid that's bored, just pass it out. And so, he did that, and he's just kind of like organizing those last minute things. And then after that, somehow, some way, you and I ended up reconnecting. Like we met up, and then we met up with our photographer. I think you were telling me because Sharon was calling us. Because she wanted to take pictures. And then that kind of led to the flurry of us taking pictures around the venue, which was really, really fun because we had the opportunity essentially by taking pictures inside because it was so cold. I mean, don't get me wrong. It would have been awesome if we could have taken pictures outside, and we probably could have, but we would have been miserable doing it. But being able to be inside the venue. So like we went inside the actual reception hall, and like, we kind of got like first looks of like, we had seen it before, but like seeing it day of was definitely a different feeling. So, we were taking pictures around the venue with like the chandeliers and with the windows and with the columns and with all the things. Typical wedding photo things. At one point we were in the hallway to the bathroom, which was really funny because everyone was just like walking by congratulating us, but we're like trying to take pictures. Yeah. So that was really cute. I don't know. I enjoyed those pictures a lot because it was just, I think in our like timeline, supposedly we were supposed to be taking pictures with our entourage, but being able to do this where it was just you and I think it helped us loosen up for the photos in a lot of ways because we didn't feel like we were posing in front of people. It was just you and I and our photographer and our videographer. So we just kind of like had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I don't know if you did. Do you have a favorite like photo memory? I have one.
Mm-mm.
You don't?
Nope.
Not even the.
Nope.
Okay. Well, because you just. It's not that you don't like photos. You just. It's hard for you to be the center of attention for that long.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of my favorite photo ops that we did was we were in the reception hall, and in our reception hall there is a dance floor. Now, Chigi and I don't dance, but I'm wearing this big, beautiful ball gown, and I hadn't twirled at all that day. And so, literally, and it wasn't even that the photographer, videographer, or Sharon told us to do anything. I was like, babe, watch. And I just started twirling, and I let my ball gown just like do its ball gown thing. And I was like, I've been wanting to do that all day, because when you're wearing a dress like that, it feels very apropos to twirl, literally. And then you just wanted to match my energy, so you also twirl.
Yeah.
And those are honestly my favorite pictures. And I think number one, it was one of my favorite pictures or favorite moments of pictures, because it was just genuinely candid. Like, we were just giggling and being silly. And actually one of our friends, our mutual friend, she like recorded a clip of us, I guess because she just saw us like we were taking pictures, so that she was recording a clip. And there's a clip of like literally us just like twirling around while the photographer and videographer are taking photos, but she got it from like a different perspective, and it was really, really cool. It was just a very sweet and endearing moment.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it felt a lot more relaxed because it was just you and I, like with these like photos and video clips or whatever it was. So that was really, really nice. And then I don't know, other than we started the reception, right? Or am I crazy? Am I missing anything major?
I mean, in between cocktail hour and the guests going in to sit at their tables,
we were sitting down.
we were just waiting for everyone to line up to be introduced in our entourage.
Yes. And so a shout out to one of our sponsors. I was doing that thing where I was like trying to like help and coordinate, because I was just like, yeah, okay, everyone, let's like line up, let's whatever. And my sponsor literally took me by the shoulder. She's like, go back to the bridal suite. You're supposed to have a grand entrance. We'll take care of this over here. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay. And I completely forgot that I was the bride in that moment, because I was just like calling people and being like, oh yeah, come on, let's line up. They're going to call us for the reception. And my sponsor was like, get over there. Because the way it was set up, we were in a separate room, but there was windows, so people could technically see me. Yeah. Although we were walking around taking photos, it wasn't like I was going to have a grand entrance regardless, but it was still just like the idea of it. And it was very sweet of my sponsor to be like, hey, you're the bride, go be a bride. Mm-hmm. And so when that happened, what was really nice about that was we had, I would say, 5 minutes again, where we were just sitting on this couch off to the side.
Yeah.
Because everyone was lining up, everyone was coordinating, and we were just sitting there and relaxing. I was leaning on you, you were leaning on me, and we were just, like, yeah, another 5 minutes to just, and just, relax.
However, it took like almost near half an hour just to get everyone situated in the right position to be lined up to go out to be introduced.
It took that long?
Yeah, it took a long time.
Oh, I don't recall that. I mean, I thought we were waiting for the guests to be seated, because remember, the guests were coming from there was a separate room for cocktail hour, and then they had to go through that. There was like a side door, and then they would go through the seating chart to figure out where they're seated, and then find their seats. I thought that was what was taking a long time.
No. It was just a lot of people just doing their own thing and trying to corral everyone into the room to get situated.
To get lined up, yeah.
Yeah. Because I was there. I was like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah. He was like,
I'm here with all the groomsmen. Yeah. Like, literally the groomsmen were just sitting at one table. Mm-hmm. And, every now and then one groomsman had to go and check on their family.
Sure. Yeah,
and then they come back later, and then, we're just like, why is this taking so long? It literally took half an hour.
I don't know. To me, it didn't seem that long. Because like I said, once you and I were seated, it felt like it was like maybe 5, maybe 10 minutes of us just you and I being seated. And then, they were going through, or our MCs, our very nice MCs, were calling out the names. And so another little funny tidbit that I found out about later was, I don't know if you said anything to the groomsmen, but when the bridesmaids asked me, oh, when we're introduced, like, do you want us to do anything or whatever? And I was like, well, you know, obviously, like, wave and whatever, but just be, like, conservative. Like, I was like, don't be too rowdy, I think, or something along those lines. You know, I said, we have a lot of guests of honor, and I want to be respectful, so, you know, just walk in and smile, like, be happy, but, like, you don't need to do anything crazy. I was like, if you want to do something cute with the groomsmen, like, if you guys agree on, like, a handshake or something, that's cool, but, like, just keep it, like, you know, conservative. And found out later on, unfortunately, to, like, our entourage's detriment, because apparently when our sponsors went out, they were lively, they were so excited. Like, the pictures of them walking out into the reception, they're like calling out to the crowd, they're posing, they're laughing, like, they're very energetic, and the pictures look great. And then the pictures of the entourage walking out is just very, like, demure and, like, proper, and everyone's just like, hello.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't realize it was going to ruin the integrity of the picture. I was just concerned because we had so many guests, and I was like, I want to make sure, like, we don't do anything too rowdy or whatever. Like, I didn't want to cause a scene, but I was like, oops, I didn't realize that I, like, maybe caused our entourage photos, or the entrance photos, to not be as lively, I guess.
That's a definite.
Yeah.
I think what also helped for the sponsors to loosen up was that they walked out with their spouse.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the entourage, even though most of them are married,
yeah,
they had to walk with whoever their partner was.
A friend. Yeah. So, vice their spouse. That's
instead
true.
of their spouse, yeah.
That's true. Would you have preferred them to walk out with their spouse? I feel like that would have been...
I mean, I really don't care. But, I mean, they could have done anything but just wave and smile.
Yeah. No. And I'm going to take the blame on that one. Because the bridesmaid asked me, and I told them, be conservative. And I guess, I don't know, I was too afraid to cause a scene. Sorry, photographer. I didn't mean to do that.
I mean, you should have took notes at your cousin's wedding, because that's what they did too.
You know, I don't remember. I just remember the bad wait staff at my cousin's wedding. They spilled water on grandma at my cousin's wedding.
You introduced everyone, though.
Oh, yeah. I
did. You did.
Look, I've done a lot of weddings. Kind of hard for me to remember every single thing that I've done. Sorry. But, I mean, you know, I don't think that the pictures look bad by any means, but the sponsor pictures just look better.
They do.
Because, like, we got, like, one of our uncles dabbing it up with the MC. We got one of our uncles, like, shouting out the crowd. We got another uncle throwing up a shaka. Like, you know, all sorts of things. And then, you know, and all the aunties are, like, posing and whatever. And then our entourage is just like, hello.
Yeah.
But when we came out, or when we were introduced, that was kind of fun. Because we just kind of were like, yay.
I mean, I didn't really want to do anything because I had a long walk over to where we had to go be seated.
Yeah.
And I was already, like, hurting just taking
Hobbling.
each step.
Yeah.
So, and I was still in my rental
Dress
shoes.
Yeah.
And I was like, this hurts.
I, at that point, had changed. So, funny enough, my bridesmaids were making fun of me. I wore flats to our wedding, like, full transparency. We are about... Well, he's taller than me by 2 inches. But when you look at us, I mean, literally, I can look taller than him most of the time. So I very intentionally wear flats because I normally wear flats around him anyways. But then my mom very nicely also bought me, like, a pair of, like, slides, I guess. Mm-hmm. But they're, like, sparkly slides. Like, imagine traditional slides, but then make it bridal. So my mom just got me bedazzled slides and was like, so you can, like, change it to them, or you can use them when you're getting ready. Like, you know, it was just a very nice gift for my mom. So I went from relatively comfortable flats to even more comfortable slides. And I had 100% changed into the slides almost, like, as soon as we got to the reception. So I had been in slides. My dress was so long, no one really saw
your feet.
Yeah. So it was fine. It worked out.
Yeah.
At least for me it did. You know, so I do feel for you that you were still wearing your dress shoes and you were hurting a bit, because I was just full on in slides by that point.
I mean, after we got introduced and we prayed, then I went ahead and changed into my Crocs.
Yeah. You were ready. You had them ready.
Yeah.
Although, before before the prayer. Oh man, and I hope our photographer videographer got this. I wasn't trying to make a scene, but I definitely made a scene with my face.
Of course you did.
Thanks, babe. So nice.
You're right.
So we get introduced and we walk in and our entourage is lined up. We're standing in front of the sweetheart table. Background's very nice. So the photographer and videographer are taking some clips, taking some photos, whatever. And then, generally speaking, in how it goes, is we start the program with a prayer. We were very wonderfully blessed to have a lot of ministers in attendance, and one of our ministers very kindly was like, "Yeah, I'll pray." To do prayer, and so. We get up and we take this, and people are still like clapping and cheering, like, our introduction just got done. And generally everyone quiets down and then we pray. That did not happen. What happened was, is this common in all weddings or just Filipino weddings? Do you know?
I think it's just Filipino weddings. Okay,
so there's a custom or like a cultural little tradition where when people will ring their glasses, it's to indicate to the bride and groom kiss or have a kiss. And I was like, wait, no, we have to pray. And they wouldn't stop. Like, it kind of went from cheering to ding, 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 ding very quickly. And I was looking at him like, I literally was saying, tell them to stop. We have to pray.
And I was telling you, if you want them to stop, just kiss.
And I hope there's a picture of us or a video clip of us just looking at each other, of us not arguing, but me just panicking and him just being like, just kiss me. Because I was like, we have to, in my head, I was like, no, there's an order to things. And I don't, in my, at every other wedding, at least from my memory, you pray and then people will do that ding, 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 ding. And then you guys can kiss and it's like, okay. And then we all sit down and eat or whatever. But the fact that they did it and we hadn't even prayed yet, I was like, no, wait, stop, please. I was like, please stop. The way my internal panic was just panicking so hard.
Why don't you ever trust me?
It's not that I don't trust you. I was scared that I was like, no, this is not how it's supposed to go.
This is your wedding. Who cares?
That's not how my anxiety works. And you know that. So we did have to kiss because there was no, as Chigi said, there was no stopping it. They were already ringing their glasses. So we did a very quick kiss and then I was like, okay, let's pray. I literally was looking, I was like, let's pray, everyone, stop. We had a very nice prayer again by our lovely minister. And then we were like, okay, we told the entourage, go take a seat, have a seat, and then you and I sat at the sweetheart table. We very intentionally chose to not have a head table because 90% of our entourage is married. So it just made more sense for them to be sitting with their respective spouses, families, children, whatever. And, we told them, we're just essentially you guys are done. Just enjoy the wedding from this point, just enjoy the reception. So yeah, we all sat down and, we had a couple opening remarks, our MC was kind of opening up the program or how things were going to go. And to start off the program, originally we were going to just have tables coming up to us, to our sweetheart table, so that we could take photos. And we were coordinating with the venue as a venue coordinator as well as with our photographer. And then we were just like, yeah, we'll just call up tables, that's fine, have everyone come up so that we can and it was important to us that we have a picture with every single guest that came to our wedding. That was a priority for us, for me, but for us. So that started, and we probably still had 15-20 minutes till service. So the plan was to get through about half of the tables, and then dinner service was going to start. But then obviously while dinner service was happening, it was just kind of gonna all mesh together, and we were all gonna work out great. So table 1 came up. Table 1 was my family. So we took a picture. That was very, very lovely. It was a very nice photo. Okay, awesome, great. And this is going quick. Table 2 comes up. That was your family. They came up and then we're taking pictures. Lovely photo. The photo of your dad doing a face was really, really funny. A very endearing photo, I feel like. And we made it to table 4, right? Now, when I tell you, of all the things that could have happened at our wedding, this was the last thing that came to mind, that would have come to anyone's mind. We were taking photos with table 4, which was one of our sponsors' tables, and their family. And so, you know, everything is going to plan. Like, everything is great, you know. We were sipping on. Our venue was very nice. They got me Diet Coke. We ordered Coke or, like, pitchers of soda for all the tables, and they got me Diet because I prefer Diet. And it was just very nice because they told me, they're just like, well, we can get Diet, you know, that's fine. I was like, no one likes Diet. I like Diet, but no one else likes Diet. And they're like, well, we'll get your table Diet. And that was very sweet of them. They didn't have to do that. We're sipping on our Diet Coke. We're giggling. We're, you know, enjoying our reception. And table 4 comes up, and, you know, so we're hugging everyone. And they're like, hey, take picture. Take this lovely photo. And then we're hugging our sponsors again. And this is some of my favorite sponsors. I love them so much. And, you know, and then we hug. And then I turn to look at you. And I just see blood.
Okay. You're not telling me, right?
I'm not?
Nope.
What do you mean? This is my perspective. Don't tell me I'm not telling you right. This is my perspective.
Right. So, we get through table 4's pictures.
Yes.
We hug everyone.
Yes, we're hugging.
And then
wonderful. Lovely.
Table 5 comes in to take their picture.
Oh, okay.
Okay. As table 5 takes their picture, and the photographer clicks the camera to take the picture, he goes, hey, Clea, do you know you're bleeding? And I said, wait, what are you talking about? Like, I don't feel anything. And then he's like, look at your collar. I'm like, I can't see my collar, bro. Like, what do you want me to do? So then he like gets close. And he's like, yeah, your entire collar is soaked in blood.
Yes.
And then you look towards me and you're like, oh my God, help. Like, you're freaking out. And you're like, someone please stop this.
Rightfully so. My new husband is bleeding on his face. Well, I couldn't really see it was your face. I just saw literally what looked like it was a steady stream of blood coming from this general area. I was sitting to your right, so I don't see his face. I just see it coming down here and just soaking and seeping into his collar and his tie. And I just see the slow spread of blood coming from here. And that's how I knew that it wasn't like it was streaming, was because it kept growing. And so I was like, oh no, what's wrong? I turn your face to me and I hold your face and I see that there's a cut on your face. And then I look at my hands and I see blood on my hands. And then I look at my very expensive dress and I say, oh no. So I put my hands on the table and I wipe it on the napkin or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I put my hands in my lap and I was like, can someone help?
Yeah.
It's like, I can't do anything.
So literally, table 5 is taking a picture, and then we're supposed to hug after the picture.
Yeah.
But since everyone pointed out, hey, you're bleeding. All the aunts are like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Like, someone get some wipes. And of course, because we have a lot of friends who have kids, they have baby wipes. And so I have a new set of baby wipes on our sweetheart table, and they're just like pressing the wipes up on my cheek to wipe it up and all that. And like, for whatever reason, my mom, she's like dabbing my cheek, and I'm like, that's not gonna stop the bleeding. You just need to put pressure on it. And so,
but in full justification, you were bleeding, and we didn't know or understand why. We're just like, you're bleeding.
So we finally, I told Mom, I was like, just give me the wipe. I'm going to put pressure on it.
Yes.
Just let me do it, because you're just dabbing it. And that's not going to help. So starting to put pressure on it. And then we're like thinking of how this could happen. I'm like, I didn't scratch myself.
Right.
Like, even though I do have a thumbnail that's kind of jagged, I didn't scratch myself with my thumb. Yeah. And so, like I
we're
thought,
trying to backtrack.
I thought back, like, how could I have bled this much from whatever? And so what we came to think of was that during one of the hugs, one of the boutonnieres stabbed me in the cheek, and it got me in a point that was so precise that it hit one of my
acne spots.
Yeah, one of my acne spots, pimples, whatever.
Yeah.
Got it straight in there, and I didn't feel anything.
Yeah. Like, it didn't stab him. It stabbed the pimple. But because it stabbed the pimple, when it came back out or when it was taken out, it ripped off the pimple. So now it's just open wound.
Yeah, so I didn't know that at the time, like, if that was what had really happened.
Yeah.
But after the reception, the day after, I kept touching my cheek. And I was like, it's sore. Yeah. As if I got a shot done to my face. So I was like, something definitely had a pierced
it rather than
my cheek. Yeah.
And okay, just to like, not to be dramatic, but it was a very dramatic moment. Like, truly, when I held your face and I saw the blood on my hands, and I realized that there's really nothing that I could do that other people couldn't do. Like, we had all of our friends and family. We are Filipino. Everyone's a nurse. Like, we were fine. He wasn't dying. But also, there was just nothing that I could do without risking ruining my dress or risking ruining the day or whatever it was. So after I had my hands, I think there was like a moment where like I looked at you and truly like out of a scene of a movie, like, you know, the like if like a big explosion goes off and then the main character like has like ringing in their ears and it's like white on the edges. That's how it felt. It wasn't that I like fully blacked out, but it was just like there was like a bang in my head internally. And I was like, I cannot do anything, but everything around me is not going great. And I could not like consolidate in my brain that it was okay, but also it wasn't okay. So I was just in full like, and like I said, just like in the movies, like just ringing in my ears and like white around the edges. And I was like, okay. And I had my hands in my lap and I was like looking at you and I'm listening to people talking around us. I do remember like the photographer was asking the groomsmen for a tie. And then we were asking like, does anyone have a spare shirt? Like all these questions were being asked. And I just was like, not really there. And then fast forward, I think the next time I remember looking at you, I saw that Dad was holding your face. And then I think at that point, I think it was like you and Dad and Best Man were talking about, well, let's go clean up in the bathroom or something like that. You know, let's pause photos or whatever. And this like, I don't know if I said anything. I don't know what, like literally, I don't know what was happening. And so you got up and you went back to the groom suite. Now, I'll let you tell what happened in the groom suite in a minute, but I'll tell you this. I then had to sit at the sweetheart table by myself. And I literally was thinking, I was like, it's my wedding day and I'm sitting here by myself. I was like, what am I doing with my life? And I just it was the weirdest existential crisis that I've ever had because I couldn't outwardly panic as much as I fully wanted to just start crying and panicking and doing all the anxious person things. Because the only tables that really kind of knew what was happening was the tables just around. So like essentially 1 through 5, because the way our reception hall is set up, like the tables beyond that, they kind of just see something was happening, but they don't really understand what's happening. Like they were too far from us. So our families knew what was happening and Best Man knew what was happening. And, you know, like it just very like, it was a small group of people in the context of the entire wedding or the entire reception. So I knew I can't panic, but I'm just a bride sitting here by myself. And I very specifically want to shout out to my sister-in-law, both of my sister-in-laws actually. So what happened was at different points, they came up to the table and they're like, hey, Isa, can we take a picture like on our cell phones? Like, can we, you know? And so my sister-in-law, so my physical brother, my kuya, and his wife, it was his wife and their daughter, they came to my table. Oh, let's take a picture, you know, so you have a picture with the flower girl, like, you know, and they were just kind of distracting me. And I'm sure I was not hiding it as well as I was trying to hide it. So I think they came to my rescue because they could see that I was completely losing it, but I couldn't do anything. And so they were distracting me. And, you know, we took a picture and I was talking to my ate, my sister-in-law, you know, and I was thanking her for coming and all this stuff. And we're just holding hands. And she kind of like squeezed my hand. Like she's like, it's okay. we're okay, you know, that type of thing. Then they go back to their table, and their table's like right here, like catty corner to us. And then your sister-in-law, my sister-in-law on your side, so your Kuya's wife, almost their entire table came up, and they were like, oh, you know, hang out with baby, whatever, because they have a son. So then we were playing with baby, and you know, and they're, you know, trying to make me laugh and they're trying to lift my spirits. Me all the while just thinking like, what are we gonna do? Like, I did not know what we were going to do or what we needed to do. All I knew was that you were not here. You were getting taken care of. In theory, things were getting taken care of, but it was completely and utterly out of my control. And so that last, you know, and again, shout out to my 2 sister-in-laws. They just kind of like stepped up and were like, hey, distraction, smile, smile, smile. Everything's fine. You know, and truly everything was fine. I knew that you weren't in mortal danger. I knew that you weren't dying. I knew that nothing was wrong. But I also did not know what the solution to the problem was, and I could not contribute to the solution. And that left me powerless, because in a sense, like, I'm such a let's solve the problem, let's do it, you know, type of person. And then because I had no control over that, I was like, okay. So when you left the reception hall, what ended up happening from your perspective?
So me, best man, and Ata, we go back to the groom suite. Best man's like taking off my suit, and
did any blood get on the actual suit, do you know?
Not the actual blazer.
Not the blazer.
There was somehow got to my pant leg.
Oh my god, like it dripped?
Yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah, best man took off my blazer, I took off my tie and my shirt, and then he started trying to clean off the blood from the shirt with some club soda that Sharon gave him.
Oh, okay.
And then Ate was also in there, and she was like, give me your face. And she's like, what happened?
That's so Ate.
And I'm just like, I don't know. So then she's like, she had Band-Aids for whatever reason.
Ate did or Sharon did?
Somebody did, but
okay.
Ate, she was the one who actually put it on my face.
Oh, okay.
So she was just like,
fix yourself.
I don't know, she like cleaned off my face with like napkins or whatever. We didn't have like any alcohol wipes, so we just used water and paper towel. She put the Band-Aid straight on my face from like going up and down. I was like, shouldn't go left to right, but she just put it there, going up and down.
I actually think it was better to go up and down, because if it went to left to right and you were eating, it was gonna move here, which I feel like would have peeled it off.
Whatever.
Okay.
So
Band-Aid.
We couldn't salvage the shirt because there was too much blood and there wasn't enough club soda to get it off. My sister was like, do you even know what to do with the club soda? I was like, no. She was like, you're supposed to soak it. And Shane gave us this small cup to soak it in, and I was just like, it's not gonna fit. So we ended up scrapping that. I ended up coming back out with just my undershirt, which had a small blood stain on it, and then the blazer. And then it was like, bro, you look fire.
I love that that's his reaction.
Like, you look like you went to Miami or something. And
very Miami vibes.
Just chilling.
In Crocs.
Yeah. So then I go back out, and then for whatever reason,
everyone
starts clapping and stuff. I'm like, what?
Like, he's like coming back from like the biggest hardship, and everyone's like, woohoo! And I'm just like, y'all are cheering for him? It's his fault that he left. I was so mad. I was like, why are they cheering? Yeah.
So by the time I got back to the sweetheart table, they're like, okay, let's start serving food.
Yes.
And so they gave us our big portion of food.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I made it back in time. Or did I? They just waited for me.
So, okay, and so to tie back to your story, what happened was, my brother, who's one of the MCs, I guess, I don't know who went how, they all talked, and then he came back to me, and he said, as soon as Chigi gets back, once he sits down, They're going to serve you guys your food, and then we're going to start calling tables. And he's like, don't worry about the photos for now. Let's just serve food. And I was like, yes, please. Because our guests were just sitting. Like, I don't even know if there was music going on. I don't know. I had ringing in my ears and white noise everywhere. So, you know, I was just kind of like, I looked at my brother and I was like, please. I was like, please get the food out as soon as possible. And he's like, it'll come out as soon as Chigi sits down, we're going to serve food. He's like, don't worry about it. So literally, as Chigi is walking in, all this applause, I see 2 waitresses not even 5 steps behind you, just with plates loaded with food.
Yeah.
Chigi sits down, food is set on our tables. Let's eat.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And the reception kind of went back to normal-ish, or like normal-esque.
Yeah.
And yeah, we started eating, and I was like, "Are you okay?" You're like,
I'm
"Yes,
fine."
Band-Aid. I was like, "All right." And yeah, so shout out to our vendor again, or venue. They gave us a bunch of food. Like, they gave us triple portions. I feel like they gave us a huge amount of portions, which was very, very nice, because I feel like it allowed us to eat a lot of food, but like over a long time. And yeah, I enjoyed our wedding food. It was really good.
Yeah, yeah. I think I ate everything except for the chicken marsala, because by that time I was already full.
Oh, I was kind of nibbling across the plate. I had a little bit of everything. I think the only thing I finished was mac and cheese, but that's because I like mac and cheese. I mean, you know, like, I ate everything. Like, I had a bite of everything, but the thing I finished was the mac and cheese. And also, shout out to our guest. All of our guests were like, "Are you guys eating? Did you eat? Did you enjoy your food?" I was like, "Yes, we're eating." I was like, "Look at our plates.
Yeah.
So much food." And yeah, I think we did they were calling out tables, again, venue, very, very nice, very organized. They kind of handled which tables were being called for service. And then I think once we got halfway to 3/4 of the way through table service, they started calling tables back to us so that we could take pictures with the guests. Which, again, it was a priority for us to take photos with everyone at the party. So it was kind of like, again, it just felt like, okay, reception's back on. Like, we're good to go. And so people were coming up to our table. We're taking pictures. And then, at what point did you get the extra shirt? Because I think it was one of our sponsors, right? They literally went home to get you a spare shirt and came back and, like, purely, like, full clutch. Like, I don't know at what point it all happened, but I know you did put on a shirt eventually.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, I changed into the shirt, put on someone else's tie.
Put one of the groomsmen's tie on, yeah.
And then put my blazer back on. And, you know, I came back out looking almost the same, except I had a Band-Aid on my face.
Yep.
So, I don't know at what point, but it happened. And it might have been right before the first performance.
Yes, you were back in time for the performances. So that was another thing that was, let me not even say priority, but it was a strong recommendation from our families to make sure there was some kind of program or some kind of, you know, just so that the time could pass smoothly. And huge shout out to our friends and family who not only turned up, but they turned up. They performed their little hearts out, and I felt like I was at a concert.
Yeah, you were.
It was great. We had people who flew in from across the country, showed up like literally the night before, and was ready and performed amazingly. We had 4 performances, I think.
Yes.
And it was like a good mix too. Like, we had, first one was like a banger, like sing along, scream along type of song. She sang
Love on
Top by Beyonce. So got everyone in the room super, super hype. She what's it called? When you change the key. Like, she changed key twice, and I was like, go off. You know, so I was having so much fun with that. The second performance was
At Last.
At Last, yes. Which we were joking in one of the other episodes. That became like the theme song for like unofficially, but officially became the theme song of our wedding, because as many of you guys know, we were dating for 7 years.
7 years, 8 months.
And then we got married. So like, it's been a while. So we finally got married at last. And oh my gosh, the girl who sang that was actually our wedding soloist. And I love her voice. I love her voice so much. I love her voice so much. And when I tell you that part of the song where like it goes like, and like the real grit of the song, every head in that room turned and like looked at her because she just killed it. Again, full on concert mode. I was screaming and cheering my little heart out because at that point I didn't care. I was like, what worst thing can happen? He's already bled. We're fine. Mm-hmm. And then third performance was another friend who flew in, again from complete opposite side of the country, came in like day or 2 days before, did a full performance. She sang
Alicia Keys.
Yes, she sang the Alicia Keys song. And then she was telling me later, at one point she kind of like blanked on some of the lyrics, and she was, because I was singing along with her, and she looked at me and she got the lyrics from me, and I was like, yeah. I don't know what I was singing. I was just singing with her because I was having fun. Which Alicia Keys song was it? It was oh, it's gonna bother me, but you're right, it was an Alicia Keys song. And then the last performance was a performance from my mom's best friend and her husband. So this is like my auntie and uncle, like second mom and dad essentially. Like they've known me since before I was alive, type of, you know, auntie and uncle. And they sang a very like wonderful rendition of this Filipino Christian love song that I really, really love. And like, I mean, from the moment that they started singing, I was sobbing because it just, listening to their voice is very nostalgic for me. Like I grew up listening to them and singing with them. And so it was like hearing their voices again after so many years. Like I haven't seen them perform in years because they live in California and we live here on the East Coast. And it was like hearing her voice again. I was like, oh, like same vibe, same energy, very nostalgic. And I just full on sobbed. Like it was so great. And it was nice because during all this, like our guests are still kind of like eating dinner / finishing dinner. So it just kind of helped us ease through like the rest of the night, essentially. All these performances, all these things. And, you know, and it was really, really nice. Our MCs kept the energy up, which were like, kudos to them, because I was tired after all of that what happened with your shirt and the blood and the face and the everything. So I don't know how they kind of just maintained, lack of a better word, they maintained professionalism and just kind of kept the vibe going, even though, like I said, and I say this because we've asked guests, like, did you know what happened during this moment, like when whatever? All of them said no. The only ones that really knew was the first 5 tables and like Kuya and Ata's table. So it was like really, I think everyone handled it very well, except for me, because I was just disassociating. I'm surprised. Well, I was disassociated because I couldn't do anything. Like I was like, I want to do something, but I couldn't. And so by the time, you know, it was just like MCs kept everything going. And then I think when all that was said and done and like all the performances were done, there was like not a lull, but there was like a good 10 minutes of kind of everyone finishing up, right? You know, and at this point people are done eating, and so like a lot of the noise in the room was getting a little bit louder because everyone's talking. And so we were looking at the time, and because of the delays, like dinner started a little bit later, and because of what happened to your face and all this stuff, we kind of ran out of time, unfortunately, to do our first game. So we didn't end up doing our first game. We essentially moved straight into
the Labubu toss.
The Labubu toss, yes, thank you. So I did not want to throw my bouquet because I didn't want to, and we opted to do a Labubu toss. Best decision of the night. Or well, but not only that, there was a lot of good decisions that we made, but that was probably one of the highlights of the night because it was so funny. It was great. It was just, I don't know, it was just very intentional. I knew that I didn't want to throw my bouquet. Yeah. It didn't make sense. And everyone, well, at least in our circle of friends and family, everyone wants a Labubu. So we had bought a set of Labubus months ago, like almost a year ago at this point. No, and we just kind of saved it for the wedding. Yeah. It was, in the beginning, it was kind of like, we could do it for prizes, like, you know, if we do games and stuff, because we were planning on doing some games or whatever. And then it was just like, no, let's just do a Labubu toss. So we did a Labubu toss. And shout out to our DJ. I don't know what song he played, but he played a really, really hype song, and everyone was freaking out. So we both did a Labubu toss. I went first, and the clips of these tosses and the video recordings of these tosses are so funny because all of the screenshots of everyone's faces as they are reaching for the Labubu as it's flying through the air, absolute golden. I've made like 7 stickers just of people's faces, just like it's crazy. And yeah, so I threw the Labubu first, and my nephew actually caught it, and I don't know how. He's not that tall, but I guess I didn't throw it that far. But yeah. I will say he timed his jump very specifically though, because I think it looked like, at least per the video, everyone kind of jumped a little early, and he jumped like late and grabbed it like kind of very quickly. So my nephew got my Labubu, and then it was your turn to throw your Labubu.
Yeah. And so I was getting word from Sharon to throw it high.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, if I just throw it high, it might hit the ceiling.
Yes.
And so I was thinking, how could I still throw it high without it going that high?
Right.
And so I was...
How can I temper my immense strength?
Yeah. I was like trying to fake out the crowd.
You did very well. Your toss was way better than mine.
Yeah, I was trying to fake out the crowd by like turning sideways and like throwing it over my shoulder and then just waiting. And then I was getting ready to throw it over my head. So I counted like 1, 2, and then by the third toss, instead of throwing it over my head, I just hiked it like it was a football.
You football hiked it, and you went underneath your legs, and it shot up into the sky.
Yeah, and then I know who touched the Labubu first.
Who touched the Labubu first?
I can't say it.
Oh.
We're not saying names.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry.
So, this person that touched the Labubu first had the highest jump. He was probably one of the taller people there.
Oh, yes, yeah.
But did not grab it.
Yeah, he just kind of
he just knocked it over.
Yeah, he chipped it.
And so, since he was the first one to touch it, it went out to the side of the circle.
It toppled to the right. Yes.
And over to the right of your circle is your cousin.
Okay. Can I just say, I love you so much, cousin. I love you so much. But you were my favorite sticker from this whole thing. Because her face, as she's reaching for this, she looks like she's crying. Like, she's like,
yeah.
It was so bad. Like, it's the ugliest cry face I have ever seen. And I was like, afterwards, I was like, was it really that serious? And she was like, it wasn't, but my face says otherwise. Like, it was so bad. But she didn't actually catch it. Or
yeah, she didn't.
Not really. She said that she, like, reached up, and she said, she was like, I think I scratched someone's hand.
Yeah.
Because she had her nails done. So she didn't end up catching it, but...
Your auntie did.
My aunt did, yeah. Who ended up giving it to my cousin anyway.
Yeah.
So my cousin got the Labubu. And then afterwards, I was telling them, I was like, could y'all have made it look any more rigged? I was like, of course it had to be my direct family members who won the Labubu toss. Like, I almost felt so bad. Like, I felt so bad I wanted to throw another one because I was just like, it feels bad.
Yeah, but at the same time, they weren't even in the middle of the circle.
They were not.
They were on the outside.
Yes.
And so they picked good spots because no one could catch the box.
The box, yeah.
So...
but yes, if you are getting married in the future, highly recommend doing something a little fun like that. If you want to toss your bouquet, please toss your bouquet. But doing a little twist on, I guess, what you would do traditionally makes things interesting and fun, and I think it gets the crowd involved, especially, and that's when it's really fun. Like,
well, not only that, I guess in our church, like throwing the bouquet and or garter toss, like there's not a lot of singles left. And so
by that he means all of our friends are married already.
Yeah. And so the actual singles are the younger kids.
Yeah.
Like there's the teenagers that are under 18.
Yeah.
And then there are a couple over 18.
Yeah.
But it's like they're all really young still.
Yes.
So when it comes to actual bouquet toss and or garter toss, not a lot of people show up because they're like, I'm not
single. Yeah.
I'm not single and or I don't want to be here. trying to be like I'm like the only one here.
Right. Yeah.
And so by having the Labubu toss where everyone can get it,
anyone can be a winner, literally.
Literally, that's what turned it up. So,
and I mean, I think we at least in the video clip, I was trying to hype up the crowd. I was like, "Who wants the Labubu?" Like straight up, everyone was just screaming in a good way. It was a lot of fun. And so yeah, that was the Labubu toss. That was really exciting, I feel like, and it was kind of one of those things that, like, again, it helped keep the energy and the vibes up. So after the Labubu toss, we went pretty much straight into cake cutting, right?
Yeah.
And with cake cutting, we did not what's the word? We did not rehearse this. We did not plan this. Also, and this is not to say that I didn't know, but I really didn't know how our cake was going to look.
Yeah.
I knew what, like, she had sent me inspiration photos and she was asking me, do you want this? Do you want this? That type of thing. But I told her, and this is what we told all of our vendors for the most part. Yes, like, here's, like, the quote-unquote requirements, or here's what we want. We wanted a 2-layer cake, or we want a stacked cake, because we wanted to freeze one layer for our 1-year anniversary. And then the other layer we would obviously eat. But then also, like, it was just, so we didn't know. Essentially, we knew what the cake was going to look like, but we didn't actually know. And so when we get to the cake cutting, and I love our cake cutting photos. They're very, very sweet and they're very endearing. But we didn't know, we didn't rehearse, we didn't discuss how we're going to cut this cake. Now, the way our cake was made, it was a 2-layer cake, or like there was, I think it's like 3 cake layers inside, but that's like one cake, and then another 3 layers on top that was like slightly smaller. But the thing was, the difference in circumference from the top section and the bottom section was probably like 1.5 inches. Like, it wasn't that big. So the circle circumferences were similar. Diameters, I'm sorry. The circle diameters were similar. Am I saying this wrong?
You can just say radius.
Radii, are similar. One is just slightly smaller. Essentially, the overhang is like 1 inch, 1.5 inches. So we're like, okay, you know, and then I'm telling Chigi, I'm like, hey, you have to hold the knife, like, you're going to cut it. And he's like, no, we're going to cut it. I was like, no, you're going to cut it. I'm just putting my hand on top. Because I didn't want to ruin my dress. Like, I didn't want a cake to fall on me or whatever. So I was being very particular. And so Chigi cuts the 1 inch down, like the little, like, he doesn't cut into the cake. He just cuts from the one diameter to the, or the one circle to the other. And it was like 1 inch long. And he cuts all the way down. And I'm looking at this like, how are we going to cut this? I was like, that's not going to be a slice of cake.
Hey, you said, I'm going to cut the cake, so I cut the cake.
You did cut the cake. I'm not saying that you didn't. You did cut the cake.
And the reason why I didn't cut deep into the cake is because if I cut deep into the cake on the lower half or on the lower cake, what's going to hold up the upper cake?
There's a cake thing.
Still, if I cut a big piece into that bottom cake, what if the top cake just falls over?
Okay, he was being very conservative, okay?
Okay, so that's why I only cut off
appreciate a conservative king.
the portion of the bottom cake that was sticking out.
So now we have this one cut that's 1 inch long going down the second layer of cake. And I'm just like, okay, how are we going to do this? So then we cut the tiniest 1 inch triangle of cake because we didn't go into the cake. It was just on the outside. So then we cut a tiny little sliver of cake. We had this huge, what is it, the little cake slicer, like, or the little triangle piece that, like, you could plop the cake over. We, like, put it, it's like that big. We just plopped it onto the plate. And, you know, it was good enough for the picture. Obviously, there was cake on our plate. We fed each other. The pictures are so sweet and lovely. But if you look, the cake is so tiny. So then, after we were done, and we took all the pictures, we did all the things, we were going to go back to our table. And I looked at Chigi and I was like, I'm not going to do this. So then I took the knife and I took the knife and I just cut into the cake and I was like, I want my cake now, bro. And so all the while, our venue coordinator, she was like, "Oh, I'll get you more cake. Don't worry." And I was like, "No, I want my cake now." I don't know what came over me. I was just, I wanted this cake so bad. I had been waiting for this cake for so long. So then I full on hacked into the cake and I was like, I don't care if it looks pretty. And I like heaped a whole like giant slice onto our plate. And Chigi was like, "Oh." I was like, "This is our cake." So then we go back to the sweetheart table and I enjoyed my cake. It is very delicious. I love her cake so much. She did like a strawberry cream cheese flavor. Oh, yeah. It was so good. Do we still have extra cake? That's not the anniversary cake. I think we do. We should eat wedding cake tonight.
Okay.
It's good cake. Okay. And then what happened after cake cutting?
The last of the speeches.
Speeches, that's right.
So, my brother did the first speech on behalf of my parents.
Yeah, representing your family, yeah.
Yeah, and he did a really good job.
It was a very lovely speech.
He hit a bunch of different emotions.
Yes, it was so well-rounded.
Yes.
Happy, sad, sentimental, nostalgic, loving, advice, brotherly stuff.
Yeah. And the only bad thing I'll say about the speech was that is that he wasn't the best man. So at the end of his speech, he made a toast, and I was like,
You did say that out loud.
That's not supposed to be part of your speech, but oh well.
Yeah.
We'll toast with a different glass.
Oh yeah, we used our Diet Coke glasses.
Yeah. So we did that, but it was a great speech.
It was a lovely speech, truly.
And then you had Mo's speech,
which was so sweet. I really hope we have the whole speech. Someone record the whole speech.
No, your parents' speech was first.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah.
My parents did give a speech, which was very emotional.
Yes. Did your mom say anything?
Thank you.
Because I know they were both holding mics.
I know. My mom was just like, "Thank you." Like, I don't know. I think she said something else, but like it was very sweet and concise. Like very. My dad gave a very nice speech. Also, and I because you know how like everyone talks about, oh, you have a love language and you receive love, whatever. I don't know the science behind it, but I 100% believe, and I believe this because of how I reacted. I receive love best from my parents through words of affirmation, because when my dad said that he was proud of us, and like, oh no, my dad said he was proud of us, that hit a chord. And I'm not gonna cry because this is a happy episode. So yeah, when my dad said that he was proud of us and like all we accomplished, and how everyone in that room was like proof of that, which it really was. I mean, I cannot express enough how. I mean, we had a big wedding. There's no denying it, but the amount of just genuine love and friendship in that room it's not. Every single person in that room means something to us, means something significant to us, and everyone turned up to celebrate us in the best of ways. That it's like, when my dad expressed that, I was like, it's true. And I really felt when he said that he was proud of us, that hit a really strong chord with me. So very, very emotional. Then my mom was like, "Thank you, slay." Yeah. My mom looked fire. She was the best dress of the night. I honestly believe my mom was the best dress of the night, like even more so than me, because like the dress that she chose, my mom was really good at dressing herself. Like she knows what looks good on her. My mom was late. So my parents did give a speech, and then it was Mo. And Mo gave a very what's the word, it wasn't inside jokey, but it was in a sense of like, she spoke the language that she and I speak. She made references, and she, it was a very sweet and loving and very, it was a true snapshot of like our friendship, and the fact that me and her's friendship has endured not just the time and the distance of like, because she lives in a different state and all that stuff, but she has seen you and my relationship with you over the last so many years, and she has seen what it has grown into, and like her being along the journey with us, like as my best friend, it was like a true encapsulation of that, and I love it. I don't know where my brother came up with this, but he was just like, he made, so my favorite movie is Frozen, so she made Disney and Frozen references, and then my brother at the end of her speech, you know, because everyone's like, oh, you know, thank you, Mom. My brother as an MC, he was like, yeah, I'm sure Ami will give you a warm hug for that speech. And I was like, okay, shout out Disney reference. Like, didn't know my brother had it, but hey, yo, he has kids now, so I guess it works out.
Yep.
So, lovely speech. We love you, Mo.
Yep.
So much.
And then after Mo's speech was Best Man speech.
Yes.
And so, Best Man actually sent me his speech ahead of time because he was like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he was like, I need you to read over this to make sure that I'm not saying anything bad.
Right, just like,
throughout the entire speech. So I was like, okay, yeah, I read his speech, nothing bad in it. I kind of assumed what was already going to be in there.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's just going to be stuff that we've, you know, been through together. Yep. Of course, him tackling snowmen.
That story will never get old.
And me driving away in the car. So I knew that was coming up.
Yeah.
And prior to the actual story of him telling his speech, he was telling it, and then he got really emotional when he was saying that I was one of his friends that was always there for him, and you know, I helped him
thick and thin.
I helped him through college and all that, and then he like teared up and started choking up, and I was like
emotional.
I was like, I love you, bro.
Yeah. Like, we're sitting at the sweetheart table like, aww, and he's like, I love you.
Yeah. And I was like trying to give him some encouragement to like finish up his speech and all that.
Yeah.
And then
a very heartfelt moment.
After he recomposes himself and then he ends his speech, which was the hilarious thing ever.
Yeah. He
goes, if you got a glass, throw one up. What? Brother. So,
like, of all the ways for that speech to end, just throw one up.
Yeah. So we ended up toasting to that, and then later on we find out the table that he was at. He was with Best Man was with his brother, my sister, maid of honor, and then best friend, one of my other best friends. And so they were saying, "Hey, Best Man." The only way for anyone to even like listen to your speech now, because after my brother went and did a bomb speech and hit all the different emotions, and then your parents giving their speech, and your dad almost about to cry, and then maid of honor giving her speech, and you know, touching on the points that you two shared together.
Yeah.
He was like, the only way that anyone will listen to your speech is if you cry. After hearing that, it made sense now.
Yeah.
So I was just like, there's no reason why you should be crying.
Right. Like, it was so dramatic.
But anyways, he sold the speech.
Because we believed it in the moment.
And I think what really got me was when he like kind of quivered his lips.
Yeah.
He was like...
And the Oscar goes to...
Yeah. And yeah, that was the story behind his speech. Yeah. And after it all said and done, it's a really good laugh because we have the pictures of him saying the speech, and the photographer got it where he's kind of quivering his lip.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro.
He sold it. It looks really good in the photos.
This picture right here says it all.
Yeah. That being said, though, like, genuinely, all the speeches, Best Man, Maid of Honor, our parents, your brother, like, all of them were so nice, and all of them followed the wonderful golden rule of 2 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Which I was like, because my greatest fear was always, like, long-winded speeches that just no one was paying attention to. But I was like, 120 seconds or less, knock it out.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and all of our, they all, not only did they give, like, well written speeches, they presented it well.
Yes.
They articulated well, they presented well. Like, it was very, they weren't I mean, shout out Speech 101 from college. Like, I don't know, but like everyone did their part, and it was really, really nice. And then that actually ended up being that transitioned into our speeches.
Yeah.
Which was like a surprising, I don't know what the word, like, I guess I think it's a highlight, but I was like, I was surprised by how well coordinated we were without trying to be coordinated.
Yeah. So the caveat was that we did not practice our speeches. We did not tell each other what we were going to say.
Yeah.
But we just went up there and just said what was on our minds and in our hearts.
Yes, genuinely.
And so, I gave my speech, thanking everyone that was there, even though there were some people that I just met like the day before. Even though that may be the case,
Right.
I thank them for being there, and I'll just like, everyone in here, no matter if I just met you today, yesterday, or if I've known you like the past 8 years I've been here or whatever, like everyone has a purpose and a place in our hearts.
Yes.
That's why you guys are here.
Yes. We're
And
so fortunate. We have such a big family, genuinely.
And then I really wanted to center my speech around the locale that raised us up, because we were basically on our own without our families.
Right.
And so,
well, we were young adults and our parents were not with us, so we were independent in the sense of, our parents weren't with us, so we kind of just had to navigate. But the locale, our church family, they're the ones who raised us up whenever, took us under their wing to make sure we were okay throughout the whole time. But your speech was so, like you said, you centered it around our church family, or well, I guess we would call it our chosen family. These are people who have taken us under their wing, have helped us in times when we were alone or we needed help or whatever it was. They were our support system when we didn't necessarily have the closeness of our family's direct support, right? So that was a big part of your speech, and I was standing next to you and I was crying. It was such a nice speech. And then for me, I think in addition to that, and it was funny because I was like, as you were saying your speech, I was like, oh, I'm so glad he's saying that, because I like want to say that, but he's articulating it so much better. So I was like, all right, he got that. And so when I said my speech, or when I was, it wasn't, I don't even want to call it a speech, it was just when I was expressing my gratitude. One of the things that I, again, as I said earlier, and I'm going to say it whenever, the thing that sticks out the most about the day was that room with all those people was full of love and light and friendship and faith and just genuine, like, wholesome, heartfelt energy. And you can feel it in that room. Everyone could be friends and was friends with everyone else, and we were all on the same page, and we were all on the same wavelength, and we were all just, we have made such good decisions in who our friends are that we have built I don't want to say a network, but like we've built our extended family to be these wonderful, beautiful, amazing group of people. And every single person there truly was of meaning to us, to our families, to our, just in our hearts, truly. And so while you focused on, kind of our chosen family and like how they helped us endure, I focused on how the whole room has all been a part of our journey. And the reflection of that, we were so grateful and happy that, like I said, these are our chosen friends and family, truly. And so it was such just a nice moment, because I also feel like it's so easy to get caught up in the wedding, like in the, everyone wants your attention, everyone wants a picture, everyone wants whatever. But that moment, I feel like you and I were really able to just lay it out and be like, thank you, we love you, thank you for loving us, thank you for celebrating with us this wonderful, beautiful, amazing, insanely wonderful day. And like it was such a nice way to it was a nice ribbon at the end of the, like, to tie off the rest of the program. I'm trying hard not to cry. Because we're so lucky. Like, we're so lucky. What
what good have we put into the world that we can receive that much good back? And so, like, and the room is so big. Like, I wish you guys could have seen. The room is so big, and it's full of all these people, and it's full of all this love and all this amazingness. And I just, what did we do in our lives to deserve that? I have no idea. I will never know. We're so undeserving of all those people's love and time and energy, and it was amazing. Like, I'm so sad that it was just one day. Like, I wish it could be every day, because I loved seeing every one of those people, and I loved that they were there.
Yep.
Anyways, I said I wasn't gonna cry this episode because it's a happy episode. No crying.
Yep. And so after we said our speech, we had our closing prayer, yes. And then things started to wind down. But as things started to wind down, the DJ started to turn up.
So at this point, it was kind of like after closing prayer, everyone was like, okay, and we had the place until a time, but that was also like including like cleanup time and picking up stuff or whatever. So, you know, while everyone was kind of picking up, you know, the different things, and everyone's kind of filing out, everyone's, you know, gifts were being shared and all this stuff, and things were being organized, things were being put, you know, in the front room to be loaded into cars. Like, through all this chaos, the table with the young friends, the young peoples, were turning up with the DJ.
Yeah.
And by turning up, I don't know whose idea this was. I'm going to assume it's the DJ's. The DJ handed our friends a mic, and they started karaokeing.
Yeah.
They started karaokeing their little hearts out, screaming into the mic. I don't even know what songs they were playing. I wasn't paying that much attention. I was just kind of like, at one point, I kind of joined their like circle because they were all just kind of standing in the dance floor.
Yeah.
And I joined their circle, and I was just like hop, because I don't know what happened. Everyone was just screaming jump, and I was like, I can't jump because my dress is too heavy, but I'll hop.
Yeah.
And, you know, and our friends are like singing karaoke, and they're playing. Our videographer got mad clips. I know he did. You know, so it was just like, it was just this kind of like fun, like, if there was an after party, I guess that was the after party.
Yeah.
And all of this while, like, we're all just cleaning up or whatever. Also, a random, like, last minute tidbit that happened as I was going through. So I went through the bridal suite, and I was going through all the different rooms to make sure we didn't leave anything. Like, I didn't want to leave trash, or I didn't want to leave whatever. And it was very important to me that we left the place and the venue, you know, with respect. Like, I was like, I'm not going to trash this place. So I very deliberately, like, went through every single room. I combed every corner. I combed every little, like, cubby, whatever, to make sure we got everything. And when I walked to the cocktail room, I realized the entire time that we were there, I did not enter that cocktail room once. Upon entering the cocktail room, I see in front of me a fountain. Now, what, pray, this fountain was for, I have no idea. So I'm kind of like, why is there a fountain? It's just on one of the tables. Like, it's the standing table, so it's like a little bit taller, like a counter height table, and then just this fountain on top. But it wasn't going, it wasn't running. And I was like, was there a fountain? Like, we had a fountain? I had no idea what it was. Turned to look, my mom was coming around the corner. I was like, Mom, did you know there was a fountain in the cocktail room? She was like, yeah, that's where they served the iced tea. We had an iced tea fountain at our wedding reception, and I had no idea about it. Mind blown. And I have told this story to, like, all of our friends that, like, we've been recounting the wedding for. And everyone's like, yeah. Everyone was, like, making jokes about it because they're just like, we should bring this to church so we always have, like, a running fountain for drinks. It's like, what? I was like, I had no idea. And I talked to the venue coordinator after the fact, and she was like, yeah, we talked about this. I was like, we did? Because I don't remember at all. But we had a fountain at our wedding, and a pleasant surprise to me as the bride. Which is sad. I kind of wish I saw it, or, like, I wish someone took, like, a video of it or something. I don't know, but I'm sure it looks great. No one complained, so I'm sure it was wonderful. And so we did the final sleep. I know you kind of did a final sleep too. Well, you were helping to move the stuff towards the front room. Yeah. So, you know, we were, again, just kind of trying to move everything to the front room so that we can just load it into the cars. And, yeah, and that was our wedding. That was our reception. We loaded everything into the cars. Another little funny thing was trying to shove me into a car.
It was very much I got in the car and then you and best man just shoved my dress into the car and then closed the door. And then I lost my phone. No surprise there. I didn't actually lose it. They called my phone and my phone was connected to my car, but I needed to make sure that the phone was in the car. Mm-hmm. We found my phone. Everything was fine. It was in fact in the car. Yeah. But just to make sure, just to whatever. Yeah. And then we drove home, and Mo has some type of superhuman strength, man. She, in heels, in full bridesmaid dress, unloaded the car. Well, she rushed me into the room, took off my dress so that I can go potty, because I only went potty once. I was supposed to go potty twice. That didn't happen. Went potty once. She unloaded me and she was like, go take care of yourself, whatever. And she unloaded the car, unloaded the second car, unloaded the third car, and then parked the car all in full bridesmaid. And I was like, go off. I don't know how she did it. And you showed up, maybe, did you show up after she unloaded, or was she still unloading?
No, she was already done unloading.
Yeah, full diesel. I was like, I don't know how she did it. She's
By
amazing.
the time I got here, Kuya and best friend was just hanging out.
We were all just chilling here. Yeah. And we did chill out here for maybe an hour, just kind of unwinding, rehashing a little bit. But you and I just kind of fell asleep.
Yeah, I quickly knocked out at 10.
Yes.
It was maybe a half an hour after I got here.
Yeah. And I knocked out maybe 30 minutes after that. Not too much longer after that. And that's our wedding. Or that was our wedding. Do you have anything, any standout moments you want to rehash, or?
Oh, my favorite picture of the entire day was my friend's youngest child sitting on the dance floor, and the photographer snapped a picture of him because he was just
fully pooped out.
Yep, just fully I'm done. I'm tired. Yeah. And it's the cutest picture ever.
It is. It's an awesome photo. Yeah, that I think our friend, she captioned it with this was after he was tired of running away from me or something like that, because he was just on the dance floor just yeah, I obviously my favorite moment was getting married to you, but I think just the whole day in general, I'm so glad that despite the hiccups, despite us being 7 minutes late, despite you bleeding your face off, despite all of those things that came up, which I guess that's just part of wedding day stuff, it still was the best day ever. Yeah. And it went so smoothly. Our friends and family just did an amazing job of just keeping us in check, keeping me in check, everything going to plan. I wrote everything out on a schedule, but it happened because they made it happen. I did little to nothing, and they made sure I did nothing. They were be a bride, which is that's such an amazing luxury. I know that not a lot of couples have that luxury, and the fact that we got that was really, really nice. So yeah, that was our wedding day. Well, this particular episode, that was a reception. But this concludes our wedding saga, or episodes of Saga. I think we started this saying it'll be 2 or 3 episodes. It's 4.
Yeah, it's our 4th episode.
It's a whole month of episodes. But that just shows you how full and amazing and great our day was, truly. We hope you guys enjoyed listening to us recap and rehash everything, every little detail. To all of our guests who attended, one of my new obsessions has been learning your perspective on the actual wedding day. I've been asking every single one of our guests what stood out to you, or what was your favorite part, because there were so many things that, like I said, I didn't find out about the fountain until the night, at the very end of the night. So to all of our guests, we hope you had a wonderful time at our wedding, but also just tell us your version of these events, because I really, really want to hear it. It's been really fun talking to our friends and family about it. We hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Please continue to comment, and subscribe, and let us know, do you guys have any questions about anything that happened in the wedding, or anything that happened at the reception, or just the wedding in general. We'd be happy to answer any of those questions. And yeah, so thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.